Yes, we have an ancient matchup here. It's water against fire. It is, in fact, Tearlament against Volcanic, Fire King, Sinful Spoil. Just a mishmash of decks and archetypes, which Herman has, I suppose, been accustomed to. He's always played, I think the smallest deck he's ever played was 47 cards.
And here is the maximum, because he's back to 60. So yeah.
All right, Henry's leading us off with some dangers, a deck that's, or sort of the typing that's kind of fallen off a little bit, but making big use of it in the Tearlament strategy here. Missing on the effect here.
Worst by far, but he picks up the Shireen, so nice.
Ah, that's an interesting card. It is Night Sword Serpent.
Yeah.
When it's sent to the graveyard, it can special side. That's a good mill, by the way. That's a good mill. All right, we've got Scream to search, and we've got Tear Cache, and is that another Sharon?
Yeah,
no.
I think there's a Merrily.
Merrily, yeah, sorry.
So, wow.
And that's going to be another Tear Cache, and we're getting a Druid's Worm in the grave as well.
Yeah, I mean, the talent being discarded was, you know, not ideal, but I think with these mills, I can't complain, honestly.
Oh, yes.
And I think it's nice, once again, to see another different matchup, but especially Tearlaments being still here and being dominant, honestly, over the past few months. I really want to see now Herman, how he plays through this, because we have seen so far, I mean, over the last few years, I think he played through all the decks pretty much incredibly well. So here, I think we will see usual stuff from Tearlaments. Honestly, with cards in hand and on the field, I think it's he has quite a lot to do.
There's a lot of options with Tearlament. It's always a deck that is, you know, you mill up your graveyard and then just see where you can go from there. And I think, like, in this specific matchup, I mean, he is playing Abyss Dweller, and that's a pretty strong card against Volcanics.
Yeah, even if you don't know what you're up against, I mean, you see 60 cards, right? I think Abyss Dweller usually is pretty good against those.
Yeah,
but
60 quite good against any graveyard strategy, and 60 cards do tend to use the grave in some capacity. But we're going to go for Reader here and then activate another Danger. Okay, Nessie's fine because it gives you another chance.
Yeah.
And level 4s is typically what you want to go for here. So picks up that Mothman and try and extend further with more rank 4 plays.
Let's see if once again,
this is not the best one that you want to hit. So, okay, Terrific Karma. That's a very, very fortunate hit there from Henry.
Much better. A lot of different options that he can search for, potentially still ending on that Abyss Dweller. So.
Yeah, like Tearlament, just honestly one of the most fun decks. Honestly, it's even in its sort of neutered state here after multiple Forbidden Limit lists, it's still going really strong. Arguably one of the best decks of the format, and yeah, Henry is definitely going to give us a good showcase of it.
It was kind of a surprise, I think, in Dortmund, but now you cannot really disregard it anymore. It showed a significant performance even in the top cut, and yeah, now he's...
He hasn't normal summoned, has he?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, all right. So thinking on what to search with his Perla Rhino here, and that gets you any Tearlament name from your deck. You could go for our normal summon Rhinoheart, I feel might be the simplest one, but looks like he's picking up a Tear Cache.
Yeah, which I think makes sense, because with the Terrific Karma being discarded, here it gives you also another option, and then potentially you could mill also other names.
Still a few in the deck left to potentially hit here. We haven't used the on-field effect of Terrific Karma. Sorry, Tear Cache.
Let's see.
Any Guidos or Kelbecks?
Ooh,
Malicious.
Wow. The Zaliak as well.
Even the Zaliak. Yeah, Malicious by itself was not amazing, but now he gets to...
Malicious plus a normal summon pickup probably here with the Sulik. Is that another Sulik he has in the hand that we searched with the Scream, right?
Before,
so we're going to have... Yeah, it's a good setup he's going to have here for his turn 1.
Absolutely. Potentially, if he clears away some of this, you could end into a Beatrice. Usually you do that with, you know, Garura plus Malicious. Or with the... let's see.
Picks up Havness, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, typically your setup here, just looking at his extra deck, you want to go into something like Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep can then revive when you perform a fusion, and then that lets you extend further into another rank 4. Bahamut Toad is ideally what you're trying to go for here. Actually uses the normal summon on the Keldo, which in this matchup actually is going to get some value.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, here is the Abyss Dweller.
Ooh, SP, all right.
Okay. Feel like he could have gone even for more right here, but this is definitely solid, and Dweller is gonna hurt.
It looks quite conservative enough, but enough to, especially when your opponent's playing a graveyard deck. And it's really funny because the first card we pick up here off the top in the standby phase with a Redoer, you're gonna have to read that. I think that's the Trooper or the Rimfire. One of the volcanic cards. Recently in Soul Burning Volcano is where the new support of volcanics have come from.
Pretty sure it's the Trooper, yeah.
So I'm sure we'll be seeing some form of scattershot action today. But unfortunately, you know, volcanic slicer, things like that, maybe you haven't really made the cut in a modern volcanic list here. All right, that's the best normal summon. It's Volcanic Rocket. This is an old school card, but it will be searching one of the newer supports, I think, Blaze Acceler Reload. You've also got Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. That's one of the new potential targets today.
Yeah, and that's the one he searches.
Yeah, so the Fire deck is synergized really well with the Sinful Spoils. Just an engine that works really well with anything fire-related, and especially level 1s. And we are playing a bunch of level 1s here because, well, we're also incorporating Fire Kings in this deck. It is genuinely destroy the deck is what we're trying to aim for here. Talking a little bit to Herman about his deck list actually before before the weekend started. He was actually not super sure if he was going to play this because it is just such a crazy strategy, right? Like, is this something you're gonna try out? Like, it's you throw something at the wall and see if it sticks, and here he is. And yeah, he was telling me like basically like what you're trying to do is set up like SP Little Knight, which can banish your opponent's cards, and then you also have multiple Raigeki style effects with things like Scattershot, the Fire Kings. Henry's actually going to go Redoer here and Fuse.
Makes sense. This way he gets to use his Perle Rhino as well.
I think it's also, it may be a risk to bring a deck like this not a YCS event, especially because like, you know, there's a lot of different decks, but we have seen him bringing Madolce, if you remember, in the tier element format.
Full power tier element Ishizu, and Herman shows up with Madolce.
And he topped the event.
Yeah. You know, when you're playing those Vernisols and the graveyard removal, it's really strong here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dweller is going to get a lot of good value in this matchup. So his number one priority is probably to try and get rid of the Dweller, but also, you know, fight through this SP. Reader is also a big follow-up for Henry too. So Herman's got a lot of work to do here this turn. So if he can clear these two and potentially set something up, he's going to be in a really good spot. But Tearlament can have a decent amount of grind game, especially in a deck that resolves with destroying your cards. You could potentially just risk like triggering a lot of all of your graveyard effects. And he's got the Sinfoil Wanted in the hand here.
Yeah, he has a lot of options, honestly, especially because like with the Blaze Accelerator, the last effect, I think you can get rid of one of your opponent monster, which is actually what he's trying to do here. I mean, I like his strategy, honestly, because he could navigate through this. It might be difficult, honestly, but I mean, let's see what he goes for. He's under Dweller, right? Because
he is under Dweller, so unfortunately you won't be able to trigger Scattershot. But yeah, the Volcanic Blaze Accelerator is one step here to destroy. We're going to send, looks like the Rimfire here.
His goal might just be surviving an extra turn from his opponent and then hoping the, you know, if he gets to live another turn, then he can combo through with his Volcanics.
So Rimfire, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish it and then send another Volcanic. So as a general way of utilizing this, you know, there's a lot of discard outlets with Sinful Spoils. There's the Horus cards. I don't know if we actually mentioned that already, but there's also a Horus engine in this deck. And then you can send Scattershot, but of course we're under Dweller here, but that is like a typical piece of the puzzle. I think this is Trooper that's coming down here.
Yeah, it is. Which basically gets you one Volcanic card.
Any Volcanic card,
yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Also allows you to go into, you know, some Link summons, because you can do some cool plays where you give your opponent a token and then you can pop it to trigger some of your volcanic cards, so it can extend your plays if you're going first at least, and your opponent doesn't have. Ooh,
Second malicious. Oh,
but
second shuffler.
Yeah.
We've got Medora and Keldo in the graveyard now. So this graveyard disruption is really relevant here, because even on Henry's turn, you can actually use it to trigger your own Perla Rhino, because you can put back your own tier elements if you've got any spare. But of course, you know, preventing your opponent is also really good. Here's the new support card. It's Volcanic Emperor.
Yeah, there it is.
So adding Emperor with the Trooper here. This is banished to special summon from the hand. So I think Henry's gonna want to fire off one of these shufflers here to empty that grave. How many does Herman have? That's at least two.
I think he has a couple, right? Yeah. Because he sent one and then Rimfire. So I think he has two.
But you can also get rid of the Blaze Accelerator card to summon it. So, you know, that's why he doesn't do anything at the moment. Let's see what he decides to banish. It is the 3 monsters, and this allows him to burn his opponent for 1500, I believe.
Yeah. For each banned Pyro monster, yeah.
Can't be understated how powerful a burn effect is. It's really good to allow you to finish games if you can't quite, you know, go for game. But also, when you play like long turn games like this and multiple back and forth turns with like these sort of semi-combo decks, it's very easy to just trigger a scatter shot, burn your opponent, and then win with the end of match procedures.
But now that Henry finally has a tier element monster, he can flip that Saliek that was waiting since turn 1. And he can go into another fusion.
Stapelia looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Returning, putting back, going into Stapelia, and having access to 3 different fusion summons potentially in each turn with tier limit is why this deck is still popular and relevant. SP is still live as well.
And at the moment, Stapelia is also protected by the field spell, because otherwise, obviously, it would have less attack, but it has 100 more than the Emperor at the moment, so safe from that.
Yeah, it's always... oh, here we go. We've got the fire ejection. Send a Pyro from deck to the grave, and if you send a Volcanic, apply one of its effects, inflict equal to the level times its times 300, and then special a bomb token to your opponent's field. It's an interesting gimmick that Volcanics can do with these bomb tokens that you give your opponent and then destroy, and then it deals like even more like burn damage.
Yeah, and this is quite some impressive plays from Herman under Dweller. Imagine if the Dweller was not there.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
All of this card that he's sending from the deck would have an additional effect. So, yeah.
There's that bomb token here. Oh, wait, I think it's optional actually, right?
Yeah, you can apply one of these effects.
So he's actually not summoning the token here. Just to be a little bit much to push through. And we're also playing Fire Recovery, which, weird, says in the name, as you can imagine, targets a fire in the grave and then sends a card from hand to the grave and then specials the target back to the field. And then you can target 3 of your banished that are 3 of your banished monsters, and then shuffle them back into the deck and draw one. So one of the worst things I remember, at least like with older Volcanics, was like it definitely fell off when Call by the Grave was released, because one single Call by on a scatter shot was just, you know, completely crippling. But your recursion with the banish sort of interactions here is now possible in this deck. You can actually just put them back, and it synergizes really well with Emperor because his summoning condition is to banish. So returning them to the deck here, Fire Recovery just gives you that grind and it gives you draw, and Herman's doing really well here.
No, exactly. I think that back then you were really relying on your resources now, and be careful. But with all these new additions, I mean, being under Dweller, honestly, is navigating through this very well. And I mean, now he's also drawing a new card. So I think did he change the ESP? No.
No, basically tried to prevent Fire Recovery by shuffling the target.
Okay.
Now he's actually still resolving the card, and he will be able to banish it to also shuffle back the Fire Monsters. So that was kind of ineffective from Henry, we could say.
Yeah, so he won't be able to use that right now because of the Dweller, but he will be able to recycle eventually. And then, most importantly of all, this accelerator reload has...
hit the graveyard.
Yeah, and it is a quick effect during the main phase of your opponent. You can banish it to send a Volcanic from deck to the graveyard, triggering the Scatter Shot sending 2 more, burning for 15, and then destroying the entire field here.
But
also, you were just about to mention this. Keldo putting back the reload and the recover. You can't chain here because he's probably most likely doing this in the draw or standby. And that's going to cut off some recursion from Herman. And he won't be able to use the reload because it is not the main phase. Very good spot there from Henry, actually.
Absolutely, yeah.
One of the best advantages of a deck like Herman's is like, well, I don't know what anything is doing here, you know? Like, imagine playing against this. There's so many different engines, different archetypes you probably haven't prepared for and read yet. Fire King just came out, like, you know, a day or two ago. The Volcanics haven't been super popular, so you might be in a situation where you trip up against these effects because there's just so much to absorb in terms of the information here. But Henry's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it seems like he played pretty well throughout the last turn, and now doesn't seem like Herman has much that can stop this aggression. We could see that Beatrice finally come down, most likely from Henry.
Yeah, this is a great interaction with Beatrice and a Garura underneath it, triggering any tier limit from your deck and also getting a draw in the process. Do you think you just go for a name, or do we get a little bit twisted and send in a Guido or Kelbeck?
I think I'll go for a name. It depends on what I drew. Full.
Oh, okay, well,
that helps. Okay. No, because also, are you sure you want to send a Kelbeck against Volcanics? Because, you know, you could trigger a lot of their effects afterwards.
That's a good point,
Maybe.
Oh,
I mean,
actually,
some of them,
It's actually really funny because he's put it to the front of his deck thinking like, okay, Kelbeck, well, actually, do we want to do this?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's smiling because he was like, wait. Yeah, because honestly, here you just play it safe. I think you can destroy one with your field spell, and you should have enough with the Beatrice to just close this one out. You don't need to do, you know, complicate things.
Yeah,
so.
The Shuffler is just owing so much value in this matchup here. The synergy that they've had is, it's really incredible. Tier Limit, just a Swiss Army knife with its ability to have a lot of different removal. We've got Banishing, we've got Destroying, and just so many different tools here. There's the Field Spell, removing the Emperor.
Yeah. This should be pretty straightforward, depending of how many Aquas he has got. Okay. Yeah, this is enough.
And picks it up. Herman scoops game number 1 here versus Henry's Tier Limit strategy. Water taking down this first game.
We did mention it, Water against Fire. Water is pretty good in general also, and up until this point proving it, but obviously the die roll did pay a huge consideration. That Abyss Dweller was really, really strong.
I was genuinely impressed with how much he was able to do under the Dweller.
Yeah. I mean, still, I think he showed us how the deck, how much powerful the deck is. I mean, we have to say that again. I think he was kind of lucky with the mills, but that's how the deck goes, no? So it's like
I think hitting that Medora was like really what sort of closed it. It was very relevant.
Yeah, because there was a point in which Herman was able to put the reload in the graveyard, and then if he was able to activate it, maybe would have had a chance to come back into the game. But still, I think it was impressive because he's showing up with you know, a new deck, new strategy, implementing it with Horus cards and, you know, the weak strategy as well. So there's a lot of stuff in it, no? And also looking at the side deck, honestly, I think he's prepared for most of the decks, you know, in this format.
Yeah, one of the greatest things about playing a deck like Herman's is game 2 and 3, because usually you would prepare for the, you know, popular decks, but your opponents would have to improvise and find something quickly, even think quickly about what they could bring in. And that is my question: what do you guys think his opponent might side? Because, like, yeah,
let's take a look at Henry's side deck here. We've got. I find this Rescue Ace engine in his side deck curious.
Yeah.
So we're playing like 3 Impulse and an Attacker.
Yeah.
And we tried really hard to figure out, like, what is this for exactly? Just Impulse,
we can ask
special a fire attacker from deck.
Yeah.
You know, trigger a name in your hand by discarding with the fire attacker potentially. I'm not sure. But Call by the Grave is extremely good in this matchup, although it's just a one-of. He does play Nibiru, but I think Volcanic is a little bit more of a control deck, rather.
Or maybe he just joins the foe because he has a Volcanic card of his own, right? Obviously.
That is, yeah. Scattershot is quite popular in Tournament because of the time effect.
Absolutely. You can
So,
say it. But
very
yeah,
popular.
when it comes to Herman instead, we can expect him again to go first, and this time without a Beast Dweller, try to combo through. And he does have a few options. One of them, which I really like, are the Ghost Bells. They are really good against tier, so that could come in for this matchup. But without further ado, our duelists are ready, so let's jump into game 2.
All right, game number 2 here. Started up, Herman gets to go first this time, and we'll see if we can put up any kind of impressive field that his deck can do. We've seen what Henry's deck does 100 times before, and he masterfully showed us a great display of Tournament, and now it's time to see what Fire can do.
And I think his hand is very good,
It's
honestly.
a really good hand.
Yeah.
We've got Rocket, King Sarcophagus, the Blaze Accelerator, which we can get into the graveyard. I think we might have a Sinful card as well. All right.
Ooh, here it
Okay,
is.
right. So now we get to
Okay.
actually see what this is for.
Yeah.
Because this is curious. We're going to go into Impulse, which triggers when your opponent activates a monster effect, and special summon out deck here. Going to go for the Fire Attacker. And then maybe it's just like a small engine of sorts to allow you your cycling of Disruption from hand. All right, Herman resolves here, gets the Volcanic Blaze Accelerator, new chain, Fire Attacker.
And I think Herman might be thinking what is going on, no? Because like, did I play against Tyrell or?
Yeah.
Do you ever remember when people used to like smoke screen into like different strategies from their side deck? Haven't seen that happen in a while.
In a while, yeah.
Oof, and that's a good one.
Okay. We got a
Let's see
Guido. All right. And
Okay.
Rhino Harp. Field spell, Nibiru, not great. Oh, that's a
Wow.
Rimfire.
Let's see.
And we put a Stinful in the grave as well.
So Rimfire is very good, honestly.
Extremely good hit here. I'm not even sure if that Agido was worth it. Well, I mean, it was probably worth it.
Yeah.
He just got really unfortunate with those mills there.
Yeah, but let's see. Let's see. He's gonna try his best, and on the other hand, Herman activating his Rimfire, as mentioned.
So send to the graveyard, activate one of these effects, banish this, and if you do, send a Volcanic from deck to the grave. Or you can banish the Blaze Accelerator card face up from your field or graveyard, and then place a Blaze Accelerator from your deck here.
On the other hand, though,
Yeah, we got things happening here. Rhino Heart discarding Scream, special summoning, gonna send the card here and see what fusion we can make. Yep, so the Rimfire does trigger banishing the Volcanic Blaze Accelerator from the field.
because I don't think he hit many Aqua monsters, right?
No, I think
Isn't that a lot here?
No.
So, like, I think he almost has just Fire monster in the graveyard, so maybe he's forced to fusion with these, you know, either the Rhino Art or something in his hand. Let's see. Otherwise, he might just call the lottery and just send, you know, Kashtira and pray, or the, yeah.
Yeah, Tier Cash could be okay, just mill 2. If we don't have a valid thing to summon, realistically, there's not too much you can
Nice,
do with just like
considering
small
yeah,
amount of cards in the graveyard here.
gonna go for it.
Yeah, getting the Solid is still really strong here, and well, next step is to see what these 2 random cards off the top of the deck
Let's
can get with
see.
Tier Cash.
And he's smiling.
Oh,
Trivic
Karma.
Karma.
That's really good.
Yeah.
There should still be I think there's 2 field spells in the grave,
Yeah.
so third still available. All right.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Herman still continuing here with another Blaze Accelerator.
Yeah, but this time around there is no Abyss Dweller, so
That is wild that we play the OG Blaze Accelerator. Like, that is crazy.
I think it's been a while since we last saw it.
Yeah. So sending to destroy monster on the field, banishing the Rhino Heart because it was sent from its because it was special from its own effect here, and now we're gonna go with Volcanic Shell, a great engine, you know, 14 years ago to
Fair
get
enough.
card advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't know if we're going to be setting Wind Blast for the discard fodder, but yeah, Volcanic Shell. Placing the Blaze Accelerator, a trap card, by the way, face up, means you can use it immediately. So now we get to draw and cycle here with the Shell, which is really strong.
Yeah.
Digging deeper, especially in game 2 and 3. It's a nice little way to deck thin and trying to find those all-important side deck cards. And now we see another portion of the Fire deck here. Sanctuary, placing Fire King Island from the deck directly. So now we're going to see some Fire King plays.
I also like the last effect of King Sanctuary, you know, that basically if your opponent special summon a monster, you can basically XYZ it on Fire King monster, no?
Yeah, so this is the sort of main strategy for Herman's deck here. You destroy the field with Scatter Shot using the Volcanic cards, and then you can use the quick XE effect of the Fire King to go into the new rank 8 monster, which is on summon, destroys all other monsters on the field. Alright, so destroying from the deck here, and then using the effect to revive the Arvada, and then further destroying the fire attacker. Destroy, destroy, destroy. You're going to hear that a lot today. And Arvata is just a monster negate. Is it for any monster effect, or is it just on the field? Because that is going to be really good here.
No, I think when a monster effect. So
any monster effect is on the field.
Yeah.
Yep. While it's on the field, it's going to be able to stop any fusion summon from Tearlament.
This is impressive, honestly, because he has the reload. Then he can XYZ summon if his opponent special summon a monster with the King Sanctuary. Then he has the negate with the Arvada as well. And let's see if he puts up something else.
No, and this is also huge because I think as Padra Nibiru, you know, and yeah, as you mentioned, you can play around it, and then let's see, he has quite a few options still available. Because he can recycle some of the grave.
Are we on summon number 3 or 4 right now?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
3.
All right, and now we've got the Horus engine here. And that's going to place King Sarcophagus. So this is where things might get a little greedy. But it's like very odd to put in Nibiru against this deck, I think. But at the same time, Henry's probably just thinking to himself, like, well, I don't really know,
what's going on
to put in here.
Exactly.
You know, it's something. But yeah, Nibiru is going to be quite rough if Herman plays into it. Do we have any other like generic 8s? Yeah, he plays like Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, just as like a negate that you could set up like with the rank 8 engine of the Horus cards. Double SP it looks like as well, which is interesting. Zombie Vampire. Okay.
Maybe not so great against this matchup.
Yeah, not this matchup, but yeah, there's a lot of tools here. Okay, nice. All right, this is a extensive turn played out here.
And there it is. So King Sarcophagus.
All right, so the new Horus engine is really, really strong. A little bit bricky. Never been a massive fan of it, but once you get like the right pieces together, and you can get that King Sarcophagus and the right names in the graveyard, just special summoning back all of them. And I think this is going to be... Ooh. Okay, all right. We are going to Zombie Vampire.
Wow.
Maybe we're wrong.
Brave. All right, milling 4 cards here. Grief, Rhinoheart, which we've already used. Kelbeck.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay. So what he can do here is special the Kelbeck.
Yeah.
So it won't hit the grave and trigger, and then make a rank 4. And I assume he plays Dweller. Does Herman play Dweller?
No.
No Dweller, okay. Could just use it for a link summon here. I feel like you have to get the Kelbeck.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, almost a disaster, but we're fine.
Because like almost like if you don't go for the Zombie Vampire and you don't want to risk it, I think you could also like go for something else, no? Like
I think the Photon Lord would have been nice here.
Without
So
risking it, no?
this could be a bit of an issue here. I think like that Nibiru that Henry has needs to be used. Otherwise, you're probably going to risk the SP, and then SP can banish itself on another monster to dodge the Nibiru, sort of quote unquote. Henry is thinking about it here. Okay, wow. Okay, not going for SV, instead going for Hita. What's his fire target in the graveyard? Oh, it's just the
rescue ace.
Oh, yeah. Now we could just make some more link fodder because we have a fire access. Oh, is this Emperor coming down now? Banishing 3 cards.
Yeah, it seems
so. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, does Emperor summon itself from the grave as well? Oh, wow.
And now again, 1500 damage.
This is impressive, honestly. Huh?
This is incredible. Like I talked to Herman about this, like I said, and I didn't think it did this much. I thought it was like a little bit of control here and there, destroy or 2, but this is like we're popping off with fire.
And this is great because now you shuffle all of them back to draw a card.
Yeah, with the recovery.
And, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We've got a huge field of monsters displayed by Herman, and I'm just curious, like, when is this Nibiru going to be used? Because I think you should use it just to bait this Arvata regardless.
I don't know.
I guess it will just stay in the hand. You're probably going to have to like try and combo it with something. But yeah, it's really impressive just how well we've insulated for this turn here.
I think he also drew into Wanted, which might,
Okay.
extend it further.
Just a little bit.
I think he was just praying that, the Arvata would be used, but obviously Herman even saw the Nibiru off the top of the deck, so he's not going to play risky,
God, this is just like so much. What are we doing?
Here it is.
We got Sinful Spoil as well.
Yeah.
Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. All right. You have now gotten a full display of both decks here, so I'm glad that we've managed to see these strategies in action. This is incredible.
Look at this.
Well, if you haven't picked up any volcanic cards now, this is your opportunity.
Yep, might as well do it.
Is that just like 6 in hand?
6 in hand and 10 on the field.
Oh, and discard a reload.
Impressive
Actually insane. I'm curious why Henry hasn't just scooped at this point, honestly. I suppose like there's enough time. Just keep going. We've got the Sinful Spoils here coming down, sending, special summoning out the deck here.
Might as well try. He also holding a lot of cards. And
oh, this is the Snake Eye monster, which we can send to special summon and then get another body here. Yeah, I guess the Rimfire. Okay, all right. This is to just go even further beyond, I suppose.
And Herman is having fun, you can tell.
Yeah, that's really the most important thing here, is that Herman is having fun.
Yeah.
Sends the face-up Sanctuary here. So I don't think that is going to allow him to go for the Destroy with the Xyz monster, right? Because I think you need that face-up. But I think we've got more than enough here. Sacrifices it to special summon out the deck here the other Snake Eye monster, the boss monster. What's the name? Flamberge? Yeah, there it is. We're getting Flamberge out the deck now as well.
There it is.
So Flamberge reads, target a face-up monster on the field or in either grave, place it in this owner's spell and trap zone, and then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, target a monster, treat it as a continuous spell on the field, and then special summon it to your field. And if it's sent from the hand or field to the grave, special 2 level 1 fires from the graveyard. We're just using it as link fodder, it looks like.
Wow. Okay. Even the cherry on top, yeah.
That's 3 material, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So a lot of monster negates, destruction.
Doesn't stop.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, because you get back the issue level 1.
Just from being link summoned, yeah. And then we can eventually, I think this is what we're going to make into an IP.
Yeah. So it was Appaloosa for 3, right? Appaloosa has Straining Gauge,
yeah,
right?
3 materials, and also we get to get another Sanctuary to the hand here, recycled to the hand with the, or added to the hand rather with the Fire King monster. Specialed out from the Flamberge. Oh, Ensemble. This is Incredible. What a field here.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, so it's been a while since we saw this. For those of you who may remember Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk, every time your opponent special summons a monster, detach, bounce it to the hand. Very annoying to deal with. Even if we somehow get a special summon through 4 negates, you are just going to get returned to the hand here. All right, and the final step of the puzzle finally should be, there it is, IP Masquerena. Link that away into an SP on your opponent's turn after probably using the Photon Lord or the Ensemble. And you also get your field destroyed from the Blaze Accelerator.
Because why not? Yeah.
Absolutely impressive. I didn't think like the fire stuff was capable of this level of comboing, but here we are. All right.
Maybe it's done.
It's decent. It's decent.
It's
It's
okay.
decent.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, end of main, you might as well take a material off of the Apollosa. Or use the Arfata, I suppose.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's also from man, so.
Oh, so that's why we're using Shell, right? It's not Windblast the target, it's an Arvata target. Very nice. Okay, we picked up a tier cache. Just stand by, use this Trivikarma, and add the field spell. Henry's gonna make an attempt here. Why not? Give it a shot. Let's see what you can come up
No,
with.
I think he did send the 3rd field spell from deck. Wow. Oh, all of them are gone, I think. Yeah.
Really? Oh, maybe no. I think there's 2 in the grave and 1 must be in the hand, right?
Maybe. No.
No, he doesn't have it.
Okay.
He decided it out. I don't know. No, maybe he did send 3. I don't know.
I think because like probably you're not going to be able to stick a monster too easily, so you got to try and scream.
No,
I think he said it out.
Two, yeah.
Setting out field spells, interesting. All right, activating Scream here. And
Might as well try.
go for the tier cache and attempt to mill 6. It's pretty useful because you get to block it on the field, but yeah, you can just stop it in the hand here with the Apollosa. So summoning this is not going to be happening this turn. We just need something to normal summon or hit the field here. Okay.
Again, with the Foolish Burial.
Foolish Burial for an Agido or Kelbeck, or it really doesn't matter. Apollosa is most likely going to stop this again.
Yeah, for sure, whatever that is.
Yeah, sheer in effect. Yeah, Apollosa negate.
Yeah, I can't really think about how Henry can basically go through this. It's a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal summon with Dora.
Okay.
Use this to go into the battle phase, force out Ensemble or IP. I don't think you're too concerned. You probably just let him take over one of them. It's fine. Yeah, it looks like IP is not used at the end of the main here. Yeah, Apollosa is the one we attack over. She's only on 800 attack points at that stage. But can we do anything to push through and trigger Scream? I think is like what Henry really needs here. Something to trigger Scream and to get lucky with the mills.
Doesn't look like
No! So what do you think Herman's weaknesses are? I'm thinking like evenly matched is like what's good against his deck. It doesn't appear to be a lot of spell and trap negation. I don't think, right? Plenty of monster negates, don't get me wrong.
Maybe Lightning Storm?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be over to Herman now.
Lava Golem?
Yeah. Lava Golem Sphere mode even. Like, and even then, I don't know if that's enough. Normal summon Volcanic Rocket. Beautiful. Well, we should have more than enough ways to get into game here.
for sure.
So I think Henry does want to try and play this for as long as possible as we approach time.
The only concern is that, exactly, because there are 7 minutes left, and obviously, as we mentioned already, Henry does play the scatter shot.
Yeah, so I think it is in his favor to try and survive this as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really gonna try that, I think, but like Herman just needs to seal the game, you know.
Quarter Century Unicorn, discard, spin a face down. So many cards available in Quarter Century. And Herman taking advantage of that. Discarding, not discarding reload, but really doesn't matter here.
No.
He has game in 19,000 different paths if he likes.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna waste much time. He's gonna just banish free afterwards and then just attack for a game and call it a day.
Here's the
there it
Horus
is.
engine.
Yep. Might be moments away from jumping into game 3, but he's gonna just try and use this.
End of main, special summon tier cache, chain the Photon Lord to negate it in the hand, nothing else to stop here. We haven't played into Nibiru. We are going into the battle phase and attacking
and that's enough.
for enough. Henry picks up his cards. Game number 2 is taken by Herman Hansen's Fire strategy. We are tied up 1-1. Volcanic, Fire King, Sinful Spoil stuff.
Absolutely.
Tier limit.
Temperatures rising in this future match, and now we go into this game 3 as time is about to end. So we will need Henry. We will need to take a look at his hand. Let's see if he will have some combo cards. But now we can also take a look at Herman's side deck, because obviously going first with this kind of decks, you don't really tend to side much. But does he have outside of those ghost bells, which is really praying to pick up, I think, right now? What do you think he might put in?
Well, I think that Nibiru is very hit and miss sometimes against tier limit, but I think when you play 60 cards, you just have to side more because you need to draw it.
I agree.
That's just how the math works on it. But I think Ash is like very simple enough, honestly, and maybe just try and push through with Engine.
Ash, yeah. I mean, I will side in Ash for sure. He also has impermanence if he feels like. There's also one Kurikara is there. I mean, just in case.
Is it because like it's a fire? Is there synergy that we can add it? Okay.
Yeah, most likely. But yeah, we might actually be in a situation where looking at it, he might side the 15 cards. I'm not even joking. Yeah, he might side all of them. Because like when you play 60, you want to obviously eye up the percentage of picking up an Entrop, and that's what he's got. And he might have, you know, in such a situation, you know that you need to stop certain cards. And to do so, you will try your best.
Typically, sometimes when you play like these big mishmash monster decks, you can actually like side out like an engine. Like, for example, like take out all of the Fire Kings or something like that. I don't know if that's actually part of Herman's plan, but historically that has been sort of an idea that you can do, is like sacrifice an engine and then go for side options.
And to be fair, I don't think we could call an anti-climatic ending if Herman were to lose to a volcanic card.
That would be insane.
You know, that's
the volcanics are getting scattershotted.
Absolutely. But regardless, I think our duelists are about to be over with their side decks. So without further ado, let's go back to game 3.
So yeah, I was taking a peek over at Herman when he was siding during that, and I want to say that I did see a lot of cards going in and out.
Yeah.
So I think you might be right, Marcello, for his strategy here in this matchup. Just got to try and see those cards, because Tier Limit is a deck that can just play for an extensive period of time. And in order to win in time against a deck that you risk getting scattershotted against, because you're probably very aware, like most Tier Limit decks will be running scattershot. You do need to play as many hand traps as possible just to stop them.
And yeah, honestly, I don't want to jinx it for a brick on Henry's side, but I think what's most likely to happen if he has a decent hand is either he's going to win through scattershot, or we might even get a draw, because, you know, the deck has a lot of plays available. So let's see. One more duel to find out the winner of round 3.
Opening hands, the all-important part of this final game 3 here, and do we have anything on Herman's side here? I see an infinite impermanence.
He only has that one.
And I do see a very easy way to go access that with a Foolish Warrior for the 3rd time in a row.
Is he drawn Foolish
really?
again? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
3 times in a row,
fortunate.
I think. Yeah. Let's just go.
Foolish Burial.
Okay.
And
We'll consider it, honestly.
just straight up scattershot here.
Okay, no.
We're actually going to go for a Guido. Okay.
He could have gone to it, honestly.
Yeah, but like...
I mean, no, I get it. But
I don't think he has any other play, so that would have been like straight up.
I mean, but the thing is, like, you give Herman a chance to hit scattershot now. He just milled scattershot.
You know?
Okay. Oof. There we go. Like, that's maybe not the correct Foolish Burial target, right?
I do agree.
Oh. I mean, these are some good hits, to be fair. Shiren, Havness, Knight, Sword Serpent, but I don't know if we have enough time now, because our Fenrir is going to be destroyed. Scattershot's going to destroy the field for 1,500 damage.
No, the thing is, you can only use it if it sends off a Blaze Accelerator, so he's fine with that. He's just going to take the 500 life points, but I don't know if he has a way to deal more than that. So in the best case scenario, this would be a draw for Henry. And with that infinite impermanence that you mentioned, if Herman, you know, just keeps that in hand for the Sprite, then maybe that could be it.
Okay, so not destroying the field, of course, yeah. Got a little ahead of myself there. We're not destroying the field. However, he should still take 500 damage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So those life points will update in just a moment. But yeah, Herman is technically 500 up right now. And
there it is, yeah.
And Henry has to play lightning fast to try and get some damage on the on the field here.
Does he have any other way to deal damage outside of that? Because like he has 2 ways to access it, which are obviously the good old-fashioned sprite sprint and then the Beatrice. So maybe he has a way to play around in permanence, but at most they would be even. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a draw is really what Henry can hope for at this point. 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Definitely.
He actually does. Oh no, he does play sprint. Okay, so yeah, he needs to like sprint for scatter shot and just make the life points equal, I think.
And obviously he could send it right here as well. Like he has multiple chances of eating the card even without the Beatrice and the sprint. Well.
Okay, good mills. We have a search of Sulik. That's going to give us a normal summon, worst case scenario. Or we can go for the Sharon to send out of the hand here. Mill 3, try and fill up that grave even further. Oh, okay. Is that a Kelbeck in the hand?
Yeah, I think he has a Kelbeck as well.
Yeah, he has a lot. Because he has Magnamur as well, which is also level 6, so the Beatrice is, easy. Let's see.
All right, here we go. Shiren, effect, discard, Kelbeck.
There is no way you activate it, right?
He has to. He has to.
No, why?
He needs to try hit scatter shot, no?
No, but you can send it, and if he hits another one, you just lost.
But how is he getting to sprint, though? He doesn't have level 2 access,
But he has
right?
Beatrice.
Go into
Beatrice
into the... Okay, all right.
Because Beatrice sends the scatter shot as well.
Well, fortunately here, Herman hasn't hit anything relevant.
I think this was a huge risk from Henry. I don't think that was necessary at all.
I don't think it was a risk he needed to take, right?
Yeah. No.
Because if we do not have scatter shot, it was it, no?
Yeah, you just lose. Straight up. I mean...
So I think that's a recovery we've got in the graveyard. I don't think Herman... sorry, that's just the Blaze Accelerator, actually. And Lincoln off for 2. Yep, we... oh, SP? Okay.
Yeah, he just needs space at this point. And yeah, this is exactly...
Here's the 6.
The thing is that... Does he have enough to... Yeah, he can just go afterwards with the sprint. So I think this... Straight up is a draw unless he has another way to, deal damage.
Well, Herman does have a way to stop this.
Yeah, then...
Infinite impermanence on the Beatrice. Ooh, dodging it though with the SP Little Knight. Played that really well, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Played well, but unfortunately, this is straight up a scattershot against scattershot situation.
This is incredible. Like the volcanic scattershot in both players' decks. Oh, no. This is, I think, kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, Mexican standoff, scatter shots, and pretty much that's going to be it. Unless there is a surprise,
Yeah, I mean,
I guess...
I don't...
No, wait, what if you...
Is there more
No, you shuffle back the scatter shot, right?
With the shuffler, and
then you send it back with the sprint. Maybe...
No shot.
Maybe you could do that.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Because he hit the shuffler, right? I'm pretty sure
I think he has.
Yeah, he has a shuffler.
So maybe he does have the way.
Let's see if he sees the line.
Okay, dark.
Okay,
makes
dark.
sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Okay, I mean, it's fine. You can chain it to the sprint. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Even if you use sprint and then send, you just chain it. That wouldn't be that much of a big deal.
I think in theory he should have been committed to the Link 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Okay. But now he changed the shuffler, and this is it.
Oh.
Wow! Oh,
that's crazy!
Yeah, that's it.
Herman recognizes the play, sees the line, and concedes in time to Volcanic Scatter Shot twice. What an incredible duel. That was what an ending. What an ending.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what can you say? Again, we mentioned the card could have been it, and when you play the Volcanic deck at a YCS, end up losing
then you lose the Scatter Shot.
Yeah.
So just to clarify for anyone misunderstanding what happened there, we're using the shuffler to put back the scatter shot, and then use the sprint to send the scatter shot that we just put back to trigger it again, because it's not once per turn. That does a further 500 damage. That is a 500-point life point deficit, and Henry wins in time.
Yeah, still he risked it because, like with that mill, honestly, if another scatter shot would have been it from Herman's side, then he could have lost, or we could have seen a draw.
It would have been a draw, maybe.
So
but, yeah.
I mean, I think it was well played, we have to say, because like he saw the play, but. Still, it was kind of risky, but sometimes you have to do it because otherwise, you know, you may never know. But he paid off. Still, I think we have to give credit to Herman, which showed up with an incredible deck. Honestly, in game 2, we saw how powerful the deck is, and honestly, I would be so scared to play against him. So he has a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on, a lot of different engines, and also the side deck I think is very built in for this, you know, this YCS. And still, it is a long run, so hopefully we will see him again on stream. But congratulations to Harry, honestly, for taking, you know, tournaments once again and showing up with some spicy cards in his side deck. Was an incredible match, honestly. Yeah,
really utilizing the Rescue Ace engine, I suppose, to really dig through his deck. And, well, I think the conclusion of this really was the takeaway of how good that play was to resolve that scatter shot multiple times.
Personally, regardless, I had a blast. It was a really fun match to start things off from our side here in round 3. But obviously, there is a lot more on the line, and obviously, we will have an interview quite shortly. But before that, I have an announcement for all of you guys watching. You can go on our official page on X, because we are holding a poll to decide, based on your votes, what deck you want to see for round 4. So please go in and vote, and based on the results, we will just pick whatever deck we can find among these almost 2,500 players that gather here in YCS Bologna. And I think we have a lot of cool options to choose from, right? And
yeah, it's a wide, varied field. The meta is super diverse right now. There's so many different archetypes. You can only vote for 4 options right now, but check it out on the socials, and I think we're just about ready.
Absolutely. Ed is ready with the winner of round 3. Thank you guys for being with us. Let's hear it from the winner.
I'm here with Henry Bancroft, the winner of our round 3 feature match here at YCS Bologna. First of all, congratulations. How are you feeling after coming off that feature match win?
Yeah, feeling good. It was a very intense game. Yeah, I definitely made a couple of mistakes, especially game 3. I may have forgotten that the Volcanic deck does indeed play Scattershot. So I was like, oh, obviously he's got Scattershot.
I mean, yeah, that was obviously going to be a big scatter shot off at the end there. We'll come back to game 3 in just a sec, because that was such a tense moment. But going through that, you didn't start with the best hand, but still managed to play around in game 1. You basically had the OTK on the field, so Herman scooped. So at that point, when you then saw that you were playing up against this Volcanic deck, were you feeling confident, or were you suddenly a bit like, oh God, what am I even up against here?
I was not confident. As you may have told, game 1, I was reading like every card. Like I had no idea what most of the cards did, and I know that Herman borrowed the deck from someone who is German, so all of his cards are in German. So I had to get like many translations, and I apologise if that made the game take longer. But
so game 2, it was you remained stoic for a long time, despite the fact that Herman had this really huge field. Basically, everything that was possibly going to be on there was on there. But you didn't scoop. Now, was that because you wanted to try and get it as close to a scattershot as you could, or were you trying to see if you could still play around it?
So the tier deck is actually really good at breaking boards. I felt my hand was actually quite unfortunate. I think, so I went with the impulse and the fact I could draw 2, discard 1. I sent me a Guido, but obviously Guido was so good for him. I think I should have either discarded the Rhino Heart or one of the Shufflers, which would have been a really good interruption. But I think I definitely helped him make a lot of, do a lot. But yeah, and then unfortunately my hand ended not actually being my great game 2, so I couldn't play through the board, but oh well.
It didn't matter in the end, did it? Because then we got to that game 3, and like you said, it was all trying to get to scattershot from both sides of the field. So do you want to explain to people who maybe sort of missed the last moments with the shuffler and why the game was then conceded to you? Because it was about you got scattershot off, and then you basically found a way to get it back to do it again. Was that right?
Yeah, so Tier has like 3 different ways to get to scattershot. There's a first one, which is, it's Tier. You can always randomly mill it. And then you can Beatrice send it and Sprint send it. So you can normally resolve scattershot at least twice. I got very fortunate because Herman made a slight blunder when he impermed my Beatrice, because I had the SP up, so there's 2 ways to get to the scattershot, the Beatrice and the Sprint. And that's the first one with Beatrice, but to get to the Sprint, I'd have needed to link off the SP, so he'd have been able to win perma sprints. I got very lucky there, but it made for a very entertaining match. I think.
Certainly did. That ending was incredibly tense. The commentators were going nuts for it. Backstage, we were all watching it going, oh, what's going to happen? But it was so exciting. So how are you feeling off the back of that win? Are you ready for the next few matches, or are you still unsure about the current lay of the land with the decks here?
I mean, it's a very diverse format, so yeah, and I don't know a lot of the new cards. Like, I played against Fire King, against a friend for the first time yesterday. I was like, oh wow, these cards are cool. And then the Centurion deck I don't really know that well either. But no, I'm very happy with Tyr. The deck's still incredible, so...
Nice. Well, congratulations, well done, and I hope the rest of your rounds go well. Congratulations on that win there. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to have our round 4 feature match coming up very, very soon. But before that, there's other things than the main event here. There are, of course, the public events, including the Time Wizard format. So let's have a look at the meta of the Time Wizard format as it stands.